Hey, everybody, my lovely pioneer parents and everyone there. I'm so happy to be here with Joseph Sebestyen. He is the expert or the guru when it comes to AP history and social studies. I mean, he's been sharing a lot of content and adding a lot of value. He has a wonderful Facebook group where he engages, and he's so passionate about transforming students, making them get the best scores in AP. And we know AP history, and we know how notorious AP history can be. So I'm so happy that Joseph is here to share his thoughts and what he has in store. So welcome, Joseph.
Thank you, Coach Joe. How are you?
Great. So you have a very interesting background. Could you please share about you and what your mission is?
Sure. Well, I've been in education for 15 years. I started out as a social studies teacher. I've taught AP and IB, a unique experience because I've taught in urban, rural, suburban, international. I moved into administration in 2017 as a principal, but my passion for still teaching history continued during the pandemic. I went back to kind of my roots in terms of tutoring. I missed teaching, advanced level history classes. So kind of got started with a private tutoring company online this time because I was a tutor in person. And it kind of took off just using a lot of the same systems I did as a teacher. And then really started my own company in 2021, supported tutoring, but really didn't have a niche, just wanted to be a tutoring company. And it wasn't until summer of 2022 where I really started to kind of niche down to targeting the AP history or the AP social studies exams. Our Facebook group is called Athletes in AP History. No, it's not exclusively for athletes, but it's more of a identifying that even busy students, even the most busy student in the world, can still ace their AP history exam. So that is our mission, to help them ace their AP history courses.
So wonderful, Joseph. I'm sure students going through you must be doing significantly well. So, how hard is it AP history, or why is history important?
Important. Well, I guess, why is it so hard? I guess one thing I think parents have to know is that what is taught and what is assessed is two different things, unfortunately. College board controls the curriculum and college board controls the assessment, but the teacher, the instruction is the variable. And oftentimes history, as we probably both know, when we were in school, was more content focused, content memorization, knowing facts. That is absolutely not what the AP history exam is anymore. It has moved completely towards a skill-based exam, critical thinking, depth of understanding, and writing. So we see such a high fail rate, especially in AP history, because 60% of the exam is writing essays. So students often go unprepared or underprepared because their teachers are focused on covering content, not the actual essay structure or the skills needed for the exams. History overall is important, even though I work with tons of students that are going to have no proximity to a history major in college. But it is usually required at a university to take some level of humanities. But I would say that these courses and exams, more than anything, teach the necessary critical thinking skills.
Excellent. So that's thank you for bringing that up, because there's a common misconception among parents that they only need to focus on STEM courses and not AP courses as well, right? But whereas, we know that colleges want to see social studies, foreign language, English, everything in a student's profile. right? So thanks for educating us a bit more in that. So could you please tell us, you already mentioned that students struggle with writing, but could you please elaborate a little bit more as to what are the gaps and what are the biggest struggle or the pain points when it comes to AP history and social studies?
Yeah, so it's mostly based around the critical thinking skills. And yeah, we all want our students to be critical thinkers, right? But that skill has to be taught, reinforced, given feedback for. And oftentimes it's not. We're not actually teaching our kids how to think. And so that actually stems into the essays because the essay structure of the exam is argumentative based writing. So if you any lawyers out there know you're making an argument around history, history is not black and white. There's a lot of gray. It is complex, and you have to argue in the complexity. So oftentimes our students, even a lot of concerns I hear with parents are my student's already a good writer. My kid is already an A. There's tons of high achieving kids in AP history, and even if your student's a good writer, they probably more likely have experience as writing a narrative or a persuasive essay and not an argumentative writing essay. It is much more analytical based, using evidence and explanation and analysis to make your point. And that is a skill that needs practice, and writing is very iterative and it needs to be done a lot, and you need to have a good feedback for. So that's usually where I see the biggest gap, but it's also because of the weight, it's also the biggest gain to help students get those top scores.
Got it. Yeah, that's really, really true. So, could you please talk about your approach? What is it that is unique about your coaching, your mentoring? How is it that it is kind of different, or what is it that you're doing that really helps students?
Yeah, so we focus on our three pillars, more like a triangle to build up this pyramid almost. And so we teach the specific strategies around our frameworks. We give students a framework for writing, so the thinking of what to write is kind of eliminated. They know what to write. They have to just apply it. So it's much more kind of black and white and math based of like, I have to do this, this, and this, and I can get the points. So we teach the specific frameworks and reinforce how to do it for each specific free response question. We then just give them a ton of feedback. The coaching is really the exponential growth I see is around the feedback. So giving them really good coaching, either one-on-one in group settings. We even added an AI tool to give students more feedback for more practice. And then we put those two things together. And as we get closer to the exam, we practice everything within the time constraints, because unfortunately, our schools do not give them realistic testing situations, so that underprepared going into the exam, they don't know how to, if they know how to write, they don't do it within the time limits. So we really kind of put all those three things together, reinforce it, and do multiple iterations until they're getting their score that they want.
Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, that's precisely what they need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. And could you please tell us a bit more about, can you please tell us, is there a separate approach for different, could you tell us what AP history subjects do you focus on, and their variety and everything?
Yeah, so we mostly focus on AP World History Modern, AP US History, AP European History. Those are our big three. There's about, between those three exams, 1.2 million students will take the exam this year, every year. And statistically, 50% students fail. They don't even achieve a 3, with only top 10% getting 5s. That is our biggest clientele base, mostly AP World and AP US. Those exams are structured, they're broken into two parts, and then two parts within those two parts. There's the weighted 50 multiple choice questions, 55 questions in 55 minutes is worth 40% of the score, and all the writing is worth 60% of the score. Short answer responses, a document-based question, and a long essay question. We also give support and coaching and tutoring to AP Human Geography. That's less rigorous than AP History. It's more direct answering. There is some argumentative writing there, but it's a 50-50 split. And then AP Government, which is actually the third hardest exam to pass. That is analytical writing, but that is a 50-50 split between multiple choice and essay writing. And so statistically, the hardest exam to pass is AP Physics Algebra. Second hardest is AP US. So we do focus a lot on those necessary skills.
Okay. What about AP Euro?
AP Euro is actually, unfortunately, it's starting to be a dying out course. It's only about 80,000 take the exam. Less and less classes, less and less schools are offering it because AP World went through a revision back in 2018 and they've gone more modern focus, 1200 AD to present day instead of 600 CE. And so taking that, and then it has, and one of the biggest complaints from a lot of the teachers was it's much more European focused. There
Okay.
was, they were trying to get to the 1450s, much more Eurocentric. And so they pushed back and allowed for 1200s because China and India played a major role in world development. So I see Euro fading away, but the structure of the exam remains the same. It's just more focused on European history.
Got it. Yes, yes. And yeah, a last question, Joseph. So, how can parents or students engage you? What is your approach? What are the services that you offer? Could you please get into those details?
Sure. So we have a wide range of support for students. One, we have a lot of free resources inside of our free Facebook group, and you're welcome to join. We have programs ranging from just a basic self-paced writing course to self-paced test prep course to one-on-one coaching, all the way up to our premier mentorship, which is a full-year program that supports students for their entire course that year, called our masterclass. So we have a wide range of options. We really try to figure out what the student needs based on what their goals are when we have calls and talk with them, and really we kind of go from there and kind of customize the approach from there. But our main thing we do is our one-on-one test prep, usually high enrollment right now in the spring. So if you're interested, we have a self-paced one and a one-on-one coaching program. They can either join the group. We're going to have a free webinar for parents on February 20th. And I wanted to give your audience a freebie that we have a 12-week planner that they can use for their AP history exam right now and know what they need to plan out for the next 12 weeks to get them ready for the exam.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, so we will include your Facebook group and your freebie along with this recording. Is there a final piece of advice that you want to share with students who are taking the AP, any of the AP social studies or history class?
Yeah, don't wait and don't rely on your school. Do something, whether it's with us or with someone else or a peer, or even just buying a $20 test prep book on Amazon. If you really want the top scores, if you want top 25% scores, top 10% scores, you got to be willing to do what other 90% won't. So you're going to have to do something extra. So make sure you start preparing now because they will come up very fast. It's amazing how fast 90 days will go. So make sure you're doing something extra.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
all the wonderful information that you've shared, your guidance and everything. And I urge people to download his freebie and join his Facebook group if you want to learn more about AP Social Studies and History. So thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Coach Joe. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.